Okay, this could actually be a regular segment on the show. I see a lot of other video bloggers, vloggers do mail call or whatever. And I'm going to subtitle it, I buy too much damn stuff on eBay slash Amazon slash the internets, whatever. Anyway, so I've got a whole bunch of stuff. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 packages today. Now the way this works out, because lately I've been living in my truck in town during the week when I'm working, and then I come home after the Saturday night shift, so that means I get home about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning. So all of the stuff that I've bought during the week will end up sitting at the post office here. Now the irony is I work for the post office, and most of these packages probably came through the building that I work at, but they get delivered out here to the town that I live in instead. So I get here Sunday morning early, and then I have to wait until Monday when the post office opens. Now today's Monday. Today's my day off. My days off are Sunday and Monday, and then I start back on Tuesday again. Irony today, it's my day off, and I was still almost late to the post office because they close at 3 o'clock and it's my weekend. So, well, no, it's technically I got a good start today, but still I wasn't thinking, oh my God, I have to get to the post office before 3 until it was about 2:30. I'm like, crap, all these things are waiting for me. So, yeah, I honestly don't remember what all I bought. All right, in no particular order then. Yay! String! Alright, this is high precision construction string. If you're not familiar with it, when you're setting up a building, one of your first things is you put pegs in the ground and then run string in between the pegs, and that helps you visualize where things are actually going to be, and then later on when you're building, you lay out to the string. So the idea is you get your strings down straight first. And this has got a cool wrapper feature so that you can reuse it. This is, yeah, 540 feet. That should keep me going for a while. So yay for the string. Alright. If I ever get around to building my shop, the string will be important. Circuit specialists. What do we get from here? See, this is almost like Christmas every time I do mail call because I have no idea what I order half the time. If I could turn off my internet at 3 o'clock in the morning, I probably would cut down a lot of stuff that I buy. So if I ever get a fireplace, I got a good collection of things to burn. Okay, cool. So these are digital thermometer devices. I'll have to give it power. Okay, that just blew away. Basically, it's just a little LCD display that lets you read out the temperature. Now, the reason I bought these, well, twofold. I actually had thought about it earlier, in that for testing, it's nice to know the temperature of stuff. Like for instance, when I first got my deep freeze, I had no idea how cold it was inside, you know, because it doesn't have a display. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I could have a display on the outside that would tell me how cold it is on the inside? Is that important? Not so much probably, but what I wanted to be able to do was do data logging. If I ran my deep freeze, or now my new little portable freezer, off of a battery pack, how much power am I going to use to keep that thing running, and how cold will it get? This will tell me. So I can have two of these side by side, one inside, one outside. Is if it's 900, or you know, let's say it's 95 degrees outside and it's 40 degrees inside the freezer, fridge, it wouldn't be freezing then. How long can it hold that before my battery goes dead? And then I could sit there and do a time lapse with the camera, have the voltage meter and the digital displays next to each other, and just let it run for 40 hours and see how
long it takes to kill the battery. That'll give me an idea. The biggest thing that will tell me is how do I need more batteries to do it. And then later on, now that I've got solar panels, will the solar panels put out enough power to keep up? This runs on a battery, I think. I assume these would plug in. Instructions. Easy to use, simple function, temperature panel meter, could be mounted, blah, blah, blah. Batteries used, how about that? I suspect why this is why these things are on special. Oh, yeah, that was the other part of the answer. The circuit specialists runs ads sometimes selling random stuff that they're closing out of or whatever. And since in the back of my mind I was thinking, yeah, this would be kind of a useful toy to have, when I saw they were running on special, I was like, ooh, let me buy 4. No particular reason, but you know, 4 seems like a common thing that I do. Alright, next one. It's got a nice thump to it. Ah, shiny things. Let's see, did I get all the same size? 16s. Yeah, so there's 100 cable ends. And these are the crimp style. Because everybody on the internet says you're not supposed to solder high amperage cable connections. So these are crimp only. That will be used for making battery connectors for my solar system now. And a receipt. Yeah, that was $30 worth of connectors there. Not too bad. Alright, the next thing. See, we're having fun. So let me back up a little bit. The battery connector thing, yeah. When you have more than one battery in a bank, you hook them all up in parallel. Well, I will be. There's other ways to do it. Yeah. Also part of the same. Anyway, so how you cut your big cables. Get wire that's bigger than your finger, you can't just cut it with your regular diagonal cutter, so you use something bigger like this. All the cool kids have them. Might work even. Alright, so yeah, the plan there will be what I'm going to do. Probably, I'm torn right now because I don't have any big wire that I need. I've got enough to tie 2 batteries together, 3 batteries together, but I need 4. I might sacrifice an old set of jumper cables and just make a set of battery cables from that, and then later on buy more cables, because I've got 2 sets of jumper cables right now, so that'll probably be what happens. Oh yeah, priority, buy your stuff. Support your post office. Support my retirement plan. Casual product placement there. Ah, yes. Probably the second best thing known to man right there. Any man. Whoa! Yeah, $60 worth of connectors again. Nice job. Alright, these are also very cool. What this is, it's the Anderson power connector. These are rated at 50 amps, 600 volts. Okay. The idea is these are keyed so that when you make a connector, they just go together. And you can't get it backwards because of the shape. So the idea there is you make, they come with the connector ends. I think these might be crimp. You build up the cable, you snap them together, and then from there you just unplug it and plug it back in. How's that for a walk on, huh? If the size of the stinger is any indication, he's probably lethal. And yeah, we'll wait. This I was thinking of using with my jumper cables because I'm going to chop the cable in half anyway to use for building battery cables. And then what's left of the jumper cable I'll use these to put back together. And my thought has always been, a lot of the service trucks will have this. Well, they'll have one of these connected on the front of the truck and they just leave it there. And it's permanently connected to the batteries inside. And then when you need to do a jump start, instead of having the whole cable, you just connect half of the cable to the other guy and then you just plug it in. Pretty slick. Alright. Also, I could use that with things like, for instance, my inverter. I can just unplug the inverter without having to undo all the bolts and stuff like that for the terminals. All right. Lots of something here. Still rolling? Oh yeah, we're doing good. Okay. Mostly it's just too nice to be inside right now, so I thought I'd try it out here. Watt output voltage. Okay, current limiter. I think these are LED drivers. I'm gonna have to go back and look at eBay now to see what the hell these are. Yeah, I think what these are, let's see if we can open one here. Little circuit board guy. Inputs and outputs. And it's got some circuitry going on there. Yeah, LED driver. Excellent. Okay, so one of my projects has been, I wanted to have LED yard lights that can run on 12 volts. But you can't run an LED off of 12 volts. The actual LED itself needs to be a specific voltage, limited amperage, and stuff like that. You can't just hook them up or else they'll die a horrible death. So you get something like this, and it's basically a transformer that down regulates the power to a range that the LED can use. Alright, so I got a few of them. And this way, because I've got a 12 volt system on the bus, and now I got solar feeding into that, I'm going to use these to run all of the yard lights, basically. And I've got probably 50 bright white LEDs already that I can use with these. The other thing that I've got is 3 radio controlled relay switches that have several 100-yard range. And I've already got one in the bus, and I don't know if I showed that on video yet, but the idea is you have a little remote control, you hit a button, and the light turns on the other end. And so the remote control is literally just a radio transmitter. And on the other end, it's got a relay that turns on the light or whatever the load is. So I needed something like this so that I could have 12 volts feeding the device on the receiver end, and then it down regulates to the right amperage basically to run an LED, because an LED will go over current and burn itself out if it's unregulated. So that's what these are. Cool. And with that, I can take some of the little lithium battery packs that I was making, and I can make a little standalone yard light that would be almost the size of the solar lights you buy at Walmart, only it would last for weeks instead of 3 hours kind of thing. So that's the goal. Huh, vultures are circling. You gotta love that. But wait, there's more. We're not even done yet. Clunk. Ah, excellent. We got our stuff. We're here to help. If you have a problem, contact us before leaving feedbacks, damages, defects. Alright, a $30 tool. It's a box. What this is, oh, this is very, very solid feeling. I have a good feeling about this. This is a battery. Oh, look at that, spring loaded even. Ah. And covered in oil. Alright, so it's a battery terminal crimper that is made to be used with a sledgehammer. It's very cool. So the idea is you put your battery terminal in there, open it up, put the terminal in, close it, set it on something solid, smack it with a hammer, boom. Lift it, rotate it, smack it again. Very cool. I'm going to put that back in the bag because it's messy. This will be used with those cable ends, so we can make a really nice solid connector. The reason you're not supposed to solder battery ends is if you pull a heavy load, it'll build up heat and it'll actually melt the solder. Now your end comes apart and you got a live connection that's capable of, you know, burning your house down. Never a good thing. Cool. This may seem like a lot of money, and it is. However, if I had to go get cables made for me, cables can cost hundreds of dollars because the average person, one, doesn't know how easy they are to make, and two, hasn't got the tools. So if you have your own tools, you can make cables, and the nice thing is you can make them any size you want. Ooh, wish I hadn't cut that with my knife. It's a book! Yay! Not just any book. Come on, you can do it. Ah, hopefully volume 1 is coming. Yeah, okay. This is the Lightwave program that I talk about sometimes. This is a 3D program, and this book specifically is about obviously creating 3D characters. Alright. Yeah, the other one isn't here yet. Bummer. Anyway, so let's see how we did. Do we have... Yes, it's got the CD even. Excellent. Oh, this is going to be great. So the plan is, I've talked about the Mars movie idea a few different times, I think. And I had been thinking about stop motion and building puppets and building sets, and the truth comes down that it's like I don't have enough room. Well, technically I do. I have 80 acres, but I don't have enough inside room to build sets right now. And before I get around to doing that, I could do 100 other things. So if I do this, I can do it on the laptop, and I don't need to worry about how big my area is. So, a little bit of light reading before bed. 400 pages. Very cool. Yay! And the last one, let's see what we get. If I had to think, I have no idea. Time for a new knife. There we go. Whew, that was close. Any guesses? Yay, more electrical things. Oh, only $25 this time. Okay, this is a 12 volt to 5 volt power regulator. This one will put out, let's say, 3 amps. All right. Now you could run a USB powered device off of these, which would be pretty cool. What I'm using it for, I've actually got a few more of these already. Well, actually I had one more, and this is why I bought more, because I only had one. I could run a 12 volt circuit to this, and then the flashlights that I was making were made to run off a USB/5 volts, and so these would run off of that. So instead of having to put a single cell lithium battery in, I can use this to power an LED array off of 12 volts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about $5 a piece. And this is kind of tied into the yard light idea. I think what will happen is these will be inside the bus facing out through the windows, and the other ones will be standalone lights. That'll be, you know, smaller solar cell something. Haven't quite nailed down the details, so it's like the time it takes to get some of these things, you order extras, so in case you like it, you got a few, and you hope they don't cost too much in case you don't like it. Some of these things that I've had, I bought them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they didn't work for what I needed them, so I just kept throwing them back in the box, and then now all of a sudden I find something they work for, so then I try to find them again when I need them. Cool, that's mail call. Thanks for watching. What else can we do? 2 minutes left on the clip. I'll tell a story. That'll be fun. 2 minutes or less. So yeah, let's see, hang on. Frame my shot even. I always feel like I'm cutting my head off. It's probably not a big deal, but... Hey, there we go, I'm in the shot. Excellent. So yeah, today's Monday. The post office here in town, well, that way, closes at 3. All I had to do today was get to the post office by 3. I decided not to go buy lumber and build anything exciting today. I was just going to slack off and do some video editing. And all of a sudden, holy crap, it's almost 3 o'clock. So I'm scrambling, running around, shutting off the generator, unplugging stuff, putting all my tools away, getting all the extra crap out of the truck so I can drive down the road.
And I got to the post office at literally probably 2:59 and a half. I mean, it was just like, I'm so sorry. I'm running in there, and he must have saw me drive up. I think he's getting to the point he knows my truck, since I also work for the post office. We talk a lot, so he's getting, well, it's a small place, so he knows everybody by now probably. But so by the time I come scooting in there, he had all of my packages on the counter already. I'm like, yay, so. But it's like, all I have to do is go to the post office today. How can I be late when I work for the post office and I can't even get to there on time? But it was on like my day off, so yeah. Anyway, but it's like, if I didn't make it today, then I'd have all tonight to wonder about all these packages that I had coming. And I really need some of that for, this weekend, because I wanted to build, like, for instance, all those parts. I can make a battery cable now. Now I can hook up all the batteries and get things running.